Hey guys, this is Ghillie here. Today we are unboxing the AGM from Kicking Mustang and Silly Ghillie. This is going to be their summer pack, which is super hard to get a hold of right now. I actually had to get mine on Empire Airsoft, and so I'll link that in the description so you guys can hopefully get some of your own. But it's sold out on Amped, it's sold out all over, so it is really hard to get a hold of. But if you can get this stuff, it is awesome. So this is their summer crafting pack. We're just gonna pop it open, look at what's in it, and then I'm gonna give you some examples as to how I used it and kind of what it looks like on a piece of gear or a couple pieces of gear. So, all right, let's just get into it. Everything here looks fairly organized. So they send you this big zip tie, and I think I know why, but we'll go into that in here in a bit. I'm gonna set that aside. They give you, I believe it is 500 or 600 zip ties. So 100, 200, 300, should be a bit more than that, I think. Oh yeah, they're back here for maybe one more, 5. I think that's it. So they give you about 500 zip ties, and these are kind of the standard when it comes to ghillie crafting or crafting gear. Right? These are exactly what you need. So they give you 500 of these in this pack, which is awesome. This is enough to easily craft an entire suit and possibly even some gear. I mean, with this many zip ties, I could craft at least the head, the suit, and some, you know, like my vest or my rig or something like that. So we're gonna set those aside. Okay, and going into it more, so this I believe is the leaves per se, and it looks like they're actually pre-cut already. Wow, this is really interesting. I haven't played around with the leaves. I have used a lot of the actual AGM, the mesh, but I have not messed around with these leaves yet, and I'm excited to, especially for the winter. But these, I've seen these on some people's suits for the summer ones, and they look really good. And if you look here, move this aside, let's take a couple pieces here. They already look different. They're not pre-cut. Well, I mean, they're not like a laser cut. They're not like kind of like the Novrich leaves. The Novrich leaves, those ones are, you know, they're the same. Every single leaf is the exact same. And I'll kind of show you one of those in a minute too, but these are all different. I mean, this is awesome. This is really impressive how these come. You know, they're totally different. They're all cut different, so you can tell that some actual work was put into this, that they did not make these you know, the exact same shape. So that is really, really awesome, and I cannot wait to use these later and see how big of a difference it makes to my already made suit. So there you go. Next up, I believe we got some more leaves. I might as well just pull some out so we can look at it, since we are showing everything in the summer pack. Okay. And yeah, so these are cut different too. It's just I'm gonna show these two and they look a little similar, but no difference. What's nice about this fabric is it's strong. I mean, like if I try it here, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I'm putting some serious, I mean, obviously pulling, you're not gonna pull it apart, but even if you just try to rip it, yeah, that's not gonna, that's not gonna rip. So that's good. I mean, these leaves are really strong. Obviously cutting them, they're easy to cut, so that's good too, if you wanna kinda, you know, shred them up a little more or whatever. But I'm gonna show you how I attach these later. I'm actually really excited to get into that. There's a bunch of different techniques on how to attach leaves and stuff. And this, I believe, is the coconut rope, I think it was called. I could be wrong, I'll fix it, you know, you'll see it on the screen, but I believe this is their coconut rope. And this stuff, I think it's used to kind of like break up your figure, because what you can do is you can cut off a portion of this rope, right? I'm pretty sure you can cut off a portion of this rope, and then you can attach it to the suit. So you would attach like one side of the suit, and then along what's attached to the suit, you'll attach leaves or you'll attach some raffia. So then it kind of looks like it's hanging off the suit, you know, kind of like a branch or something. I've seen some people actually just put the coconut on, or the coconut rope on their suit and call it done. You know, they didn't even craft it, they didn't put stuff on it, they just put it on there, and it actually looks pretty good. This stuff is pretty neat. It looks like just some generic rope that's been messed with a little bit, but you know, I'm sure it can be put to good use. Okay, and then I think this is a part of something else, but here's some more leaves. Yeah. Okay, yeah, they sent a bunch of them. They're just a little all over the place, but here's a bunch more of these laser cut brown leaves, and this is the summer pack. You know, I know for the summer pack it's showing a lot of this dead brown, you know, stuff, but here's the thing. We're gonna get into the actual AGM in a second, but this is still good. I mean, it's summer. Even though summer's green, right? In some areas though, I think what's most important about them including these, you know, brown and this brownish colors is not only that it, you know, helps blend with the ground. In my area, super green, super alive, vegetation is everywhere. But I know in some other people's areas that it's dead. You know, during the summer, maybe it's not watered, the grass is brown, it's dead. The whole area is just like, there's not much life to it, or maybe there's a little bit of vegetation during the summer. And I'm not talking about winter kind of dead, but more, there is leaves, there is stuff, it's just not gonna do great. So either way, this stuff is awesome. And I love how this is kind of, you know, has like a little camo on it. So that is really cool. But I think we are past the leaves. I'm gonna set these aside. Okay. And so we're past the leaves. Now, what I really want to get into, because I'm going to be crafting my Wolverine MTW here soon, is this stuff. This is going to be useful. This is going to be nice because you can use it for just about anything. What's nice about this here, let's unfold it a bit more. Oh yeah, this is going to be perfect. This is actually really, really good. So what's nice about this stuff is it already, you know, you can fit the zip ties right through it. Here, let me grab one of these. So what's nice about this stuff is you can actually use it as a crafting base, which is awesome because I plan to wrap my MTW in this fabric and then craft onto that instead of buying a wrap. You know, in Kicking Mustang, Silly Ghillie, Novrich even, they have good rifle wraps. If you get a Novrich one, make sure you get one that fits your environment. It's a little bit hard to kind of deal with some of them, and I'll talk about that in another video or possibly later. But this right here already comes pre-cut, and you can simply just loop it right through. I'm sorry, this is a little away, so it's gonna, oh no, I'm struggling. This is embarrassing. But you can loop it right through. There you go. And so that way you can kind of tie it off and you can craft right on it. And I believe this stuff's pretty strong too, yeah. This fabric is really strong too, so that, and it looks good. This is a summer camo, has the nice browns, has a good touch of white. Okay, so really quickly, this is Ghillie here. This is after finding out an issue while editing Ghillie. This stuff is brown. It is brown, it's not white. The white is actually on only one side. You see how there's like all this white? But if you flip it around, the whole thing is brown and green. So don't worry about what I was saying about the white. I was wrong about that. So yeah. So this is perfect. I'm very excited to use this. Nice. Okay, we're gonna toss that aside. And getting into it now. Here is some dead raffia. You know, it honestly just looks like any other raffia. I don't think there really is a difference. grass, fake grass, you know. You can make this at home if you really need to, but this does feel nice and professional. I mean, I know I'm just touching grass, so I sound crazy, but I like how it's bundled. I really do. I like how it comes bundled. And so what you can kind of do is you can, you know, take a little chunk like this, and you can cut off a piece of it if you need to, right? Cut off a piece. And then what you can do with this glass, and the best way to make it look really good, and there'll be a whole separate video on this, I might even attach it, you might see it, is how to use the grass and how to use it effectively on your suit when crafting. And so one of the best things to do is to split it, right? So you grab it, especially these bigger pieces like this, you want to make sure you split it, because then it's going to make it look more natural. And then once you do kind of split it, like these couple strands I have here, you want to just crush it down to like a ball. And there's so many different ways to craft this, so don't take my word for it as the only way, but, and then it kind of looks a little more natural in a way, but yeah. Some nice raffia, that definitely helps. Here's some more of those leaves. And apart from the AGM, I think that's it. So now moving on to the AGM, this is what I really wanted to show off, and I needed more myself actually, so I can craft some of my guns and stuff. And this stuff's a little messy, but I mean, hey, why not, right? With the AGM. This is what people are really in it for. This is the good stuff. This is what you need, okay, for your summer crafting. This stuff is amazing, and it looks like this is a large one. Here, wait, hold on, it is, oh my gosh, yeah. I can make a whole nother suit with this. I really could. This is so much AGM. So previously, I bought an AGM large 2.0 to make my ghillie suit, my vest, my gun, all my stuff I have. I bought one of these, but I didn't buy the summer pack. And I picked up the summer pack because there's a lot of interesting stuff I wanted to look into. But this is amazing. I have absolutely nothing bad I can say about the AGM. I mean, this stuff is perfect. The way it comes shipped to you and the way that they have it wrapped like this is intentional. You don't want to pull this off. You want this band to stay on here. And the reason why, I don't have my big scissors with me, but I'll kind of give an example. The reason why is because what you do is you want to take a strand of this towards the bottom, kind of like this, right? And you want to make sure it's all even. And then what you can do, once you have a strand or a bundle, kind of like this, you want to cut it diagonal. So you want to cut it kind of like that, so it looks a little bit different. And that's going to give you these strips right here to work with. And I brought an example. So here, let me set this aside. This is amazing though. I mean, this is a full-size table, or you know, it's a pretty good sized table, as you can tell from my my mat here. And this is the whole size of my table. I mean, this is, you know, this is huge. A pack like this, I was able to craft my pistol, my sniper rifle, my headpiece, my face mask, my vest, and the suit. And I still actually have leftover AGM from my other pack. So one of these will finish everything you need, especially if you're just making one suit. This will do plenty. Let me show you an example now that we've talked about this. And here you go. So this is what I meant by some of the strips I cut off, right? I have some of these strips here, and there's different colors. You have this bright green, and you look at this green, you might think it's not gonna work, right? Because it is. Just for some people, they might see this and think, oh, that's way too bright. I mean, that's like a neon bright. It looks amazing, especially if you have a lot of vegetation and a lot of it is alive in your area. This stuff is amazing. It works great. And then you have this kind of darker green, this like ivy green that works really well too. And then I don't have it in here, but as you just saw a moment ago, you have this like super dark green, right? So there's a lot to work with here. There's a lot to work with. But what you want to do with these strips, how they're all kind of cut like this, and they're all even, and they're all nice and pretty, is now you want to craft. I'm gonna give a small example and not put this in another video, because if you're watching this video, I'm going to assume you want to craft a ghillie suit. I'm going to assume you want to craft something. You clicked on this video knowing the fact that this is possibly a ghillie crafting material, and so let's talk about it, right? Let's see how to use it, and then I'll make another video on how I craft my stuff. But small example here, okay? Here's my suit. Now, before anyone starts to freak out and says, what are you doing? This is an average suit, believe it or not. And believe it even more or not, this is a amber average suit. And as you can see, looking at this suit, there's no white. I got rid of the white. This is a very custom made suit. That took a lot of time, and I still have more to do. In fact, actually, I need to finish the arms. The arms have a little bit more to do on them, and then the suit's finished. But I've tested it, and it looks great, right? I've had buddies check it out. I've posted it a couple places. Tons of people think it looks awesome. The thing is, though, and this is all AGM, except for the Raffia here. This Raffia is an average. This AGM is all from, you know, Kicking Mustang and Silly Ghillie. And then these little leaves here are what were already on the suit, but I only left the brown and the green. I took off all the white, I colored in all the white, I dyed all the white. You can actually see some right here. See this, how it's kind of white, but I dyed it. And so this is kind of what a suit looks like with this AGM, but I want to show something a little better. Here is my rig that I tend to run. This is my rig, and yes, there are no average leaves on here. I normally recommend not to use these leaves. However, if they blend in with your environment and they do look natural and you truly do believe they'll work for you, then go for it. In my scenario, in my case, the field I play at, these do color match, they do look natural, they do work. The brown ones, not so much, but these green leaves, they're live, they're green, they blend. You know, I have pictures and stuff like that, and it works pretty well. It works pretty well. This is a DTD holster attached to my vest by 1,000,000 zip ties and a piece of retention cord. And this is pretty crafted. You know, I have my knife here, I have my holster here. But as you can see with all this AGM, you know, there's different examples of how I put this on. And I will attach a piece here in a moment and show you guys, but what I mean by that is if you look, for example, right here. So I'm not sure how well the camera can get this, hopefully it's good. But right here, you see how there's a little ball, and then this is kind of, you know, like a little bow kind of. So that's like one way to attach it, right? You have a ball, you ball it up, you put it on. Another way is kind of like a bow, a big bow. So for example, pretty much every other piece on here. I stopped doing the balls after a bit on here. But like this one, this is a bow. This is just attached, it's spread out, you gotta fluff it out, you gotta make it look good. It doesn't just look good if you put it on and leave it. You have to put it on, fluff it out, make it look good. Okay, and I will show you how to attach this. AGM. I'll just give a quick little example for those who wanna know. So here I am. I've had some buddies tell me that I need to work on the arms a little more. The arms look like they need a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do today. So here is the arm of my suit. Here's my right arm. And I kind of look for an open area that needs some crafting. So I guess right here is a good one. So what you wanna do is you wanna take the zip tie, right? And you wanna loop it through one loop, and then you want to go up through the next one that's next to it. You do not want to skip. So as you can see here on the fabric, it's looped through two pieces. That's it. You do not want to skip, because what's going to happen is you're going to have knots in your suit. So you don't want to go like this. You don't want to go through one hole and then skip a few, and see how I grabbed a bunch of them like that? That's going to be a problem. It's going to cause these like knots in your suit, and it's going to be an issue, and you'll realize if you you know, fuck around and find out. But you want to go one over, so you want to put it in one hole and then put it in the one right next to it and loop it through just like that. and then you want to close it off. Just a little bit, not too much. You just want to close it slightly so it's not going to come undone. And then with this AGM, there's a couple ways to do this. I'm going to show you my favorite way right now. Other people, millions of ways, they'll all tell you how to do it all differently. This is my favorite way right now to make the most of the space. So I take a strip about this size. I would say maybe, I don't know, like 6 inches, something like that. And then what you want to do is I tend to fold it over. Some people use big strips. I have a buddy who uses really big strips. He's like, oh no, you need 2 of these like that. That's too much for me, in my opinion. So what I like to do is kind of go like this, and you want to move your finger because you don't want to cut your finger, but you want to fold it over kind of like that, and you want to just split it in half. That's all. You're just cutting into 2 pieces, not 1. And so here you go. You have 2 even sized pieces. And what I like to do right now is you take it and you fold it over. And then since this is still big, you kind of want to fold it over again. And it's going to come this like simple straight strand. And with the suit, you just want to go ahead and put it between the zip tie like that. And you want to tighten down the zip tie, not as tight as you can, but just tight enough that this can still move around. And then you want to split the bow up. You want to fluffen it, is what I like to call it. You want to fluffen the bow. And you just want to move it around a little. And there you go. Now it's kind of fluffing. This is a pretty big piece. Like that looks a little funny. So what I might do later on is make it look a little more natural, because this looks pretty straight. So if you really need to, you can kind of cut something like that off and use it later on something else. And then what you want to do is just tighten it all the way down. So tighten it all the way down, fluff it out one more time, make sure it's all good, and there you go. And then you just cut off the end of the zip tie like so, and now it's attached to the suit. That's one way to do it, and I'll make another video on how to actually craft a suit and how to do it more, but there you go, that's it. So yeah, this stuff is great. This AGM, I love it. I will forever use it on my stuff now. It works amazing for me. I don't have really a reason to use anything else. You do have Halo screen from like Novrich and other options out there. They're also great. They're not terrible, but it just doesn't beat this. I mean, the AGM is awesome. It works great. A good example would be this TAC 41. This is my main sniper, and then I have a new one I'm about to start using that I built. But this is my main sniper, and as you can see here, hopefully the camera's picking the whole thing up, but here is my crafted sniper. It's nothing crazy. I didn't overcraft it. I make sure to do it just enough. And it's not painted. It's still OD green. So I do plan to paint it later on and kind of touch it up a little bit. But even this works great, right? This is a Novrich base wrap with AGM all over it. And I've tested it. I put it in and it blends really well. It looks awesome. So this AGM, I mean, on anything, just looks awesome. It really, really works. So if I have anything that I would say about it, is Kicking Mustang, send me some more AGM so I can use it. And yeah. Let's see. We gotta put the sniper away. But yeah. I don't know. I'm really excited to get a winter crafting pack here in a couple months. So I guess I will do another unboxing whenever I get the winter pack, and I'll kind of show a suit and show what I make out of that. But there you go. That's it. This is the Kicking Mustang and Silly Ghillie AGM summer pack. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like, subscribe, and there should be a video somewhere right here or right there, or maybe up there, I don't know, somewhere, one of these places, of a Wolverine MTW unboxing I just did. I'm so excited to craft that and show what it looks like once it's all finished and full of AGM. All right, take care. Bye-bye.